Hi everyone, I'm Julia and welcome to my garden. Today I'm going to talk about how I got hurt and then what I learned from getting hurt and then sick in the middle of the growing season. I'm also going to show you the state of my garden after not being able to garden for almost 3 whole months. Okay, I have some notes here with me so I don't forget what I want to say because there's a lot that I want to say. Since getting sick and hurt, as you might imagine, the garden has suffered. So I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. I was just barely to keep up with the bare minimum, which was watering and mowing the lawn, and even that was kind of difficult. And you'll see, I mean, everything's alive, so it's a miracle that I managed to keep everything alive. At least I'm happy about that because I would have been super sad if I didn't have my plants. The last video that I filmed was on July 3rd, so it's almost been 3 months since I've been out here working in the garden, actually working and doing something, whether it be weeding. I am not really counting mowing the lawn. I did it once myself in between those 3 months, doing the maintenance for my plants. That's what I would call working in the garden. So what happened? Well, I'm not sure how I got hurt, honestly. How it happened, I don't know how it happened. I have a few ideas. I think maybe it's from moving around the big patio umbrella that I have and I use for shade when it gets really hot. You know, in the summer it gets super hot and I can't work outside comfortably if I'm sweating. Even at 6 a.m. the sun over here on the front side of my house, this is where the sun rises and it is super hot during the summer, so I'd be sweating so much. So to make it more bearable, I would take that umbrella and place it wherever I was working, and it is super heavy. So maybe that could have possibly been it. Or I also use a pot filled with rocks and brick. I used it for my tripod. I have a smaller tripod and I would use it for that because it's broken. So I would use it just to keep it in there kind of level. I wouldn't be able to extend it because it's broken. When I got when I hurt my back, the first few days were super hard. I couldn't do anything, any kind of like squatting type deal. Oh my goodness, it was so difficult. And for the first week and a half, I just did nothing but trying to find comfortable positions and sitting or laying down. And that actually really helped. Just not doing anything really helped, just like kind of recover a little bit until I was well enough that I could bend down and grab the sprinkler and move it around to water the garden myself. So after a while, I started looking, after like that first week and a half, I started looking on YouTube for exercises to help me with my back pain, with my lower back pain, and some hip pain, because I noticed where the pain was and I researched and looked it up. I'm not giving you guys any medical advice. This is just for my particular situation. I looked it up and I started doing light exercises and those have helped. But you know, as soon as I started feeling better, I stopped them, and that's been a mistake because my back is going back to kind of having issues. So I think that's something that I have to continue on maybe for the next few months, because I did notice a big difference and it was helping. And it's some recurring issues that I have that I know I should keep working on. So I'm still not 100% better because, you know, I stopped doing those exercises, but I'm getting there. As long as I stay consistent with those exercises, I think I'll be all right. And not lifting heavy things, asking for help, and not standing for extended period of time. Just do things in short bursts. I also ordered a back brace. I did have an old one, but that one was a few years old and it wasn't working as it should. So I ordered a new one in my size. The other one was smaller. So this one's in my size, and it's really helped. I use it inside the house if I'm standing for a long time, doing dishes or something that requires me to stand for a long time, cooking, things like that. So in the process of that, in July, then towards like the end of August, my kids went back to school, and I got sick. My youngest got sick that first week, and then a few days later I got sick. So we were recovering 2 weeks. We did well. It was like a small little cold, whatever. We did well, and we were recovering. Well, then my oldest got sick as well, and I got sick again during my recovery, and this was, I don't know what it was. I didn't test myself for COVID or anything, or the flu, but it was bad. I had fever for 2 days and body aches and shakes and fatigue after. I couldn't really do anything for a few days after the fever went down, because I was in recovery. So the first week of recovery was pretty bad for me. The first thing I learned is that no one's going to care about your garden as much as you do. I mean, that's the reality of things. This is my hobby. This is not my family's hobby. It's not something that they like, that they particularly enjoy. They see it as more of a chore than I do, and sometimes I think some things are a chore, but I find enjoyment in it. So they're not going to care if your garden dies. They're not going to care if it's watered. They're not going to remember if it's being watered, or fertilized, or maintaining things that are growing a little bit out of control, or pulling things out. They have their own likes and interests, and honestly, I don't blame anybody for it. It's something that I undertook. I went in with it. I add things knowing, this is going to be more work and I'm going to have to do this and this. I don't go in with thinking, I'm going to do this and my family's going to help me. No, because that's my thing. It's not their thing, So, yes, I know it's hard to not get upset, but, at the end of the day, it's my thing. The second thing I learned is to have systems in place. So in case you need somebody to take care of your garden, in case of an injury or sickness, illness, you have systems in place. And what I mean by systems is have a schedule of what you work on. Like Monday you'll work in this section, and you'll do weeding, and irrigation, or whatever. If you need irrigation like I do, it's basically an almost everyday thing. And honestly it should be, but I don't irrigate every day because I'm not going to get out there and irrigate my whole garden with the sprinkler that I drag around. Okay. I think that's one thing I might implement, is give myself a schedule, and I have everything in my mind. But in case somebody else needs to take care of my garden, I'll say, today it's this. I don't want anybody getting overwhelmed with my garden, with the thing that I find enjoyment with, and they don't even find enjoyment with it. So I think I want to work on like blocking off my garden in zones and choose to work on those locations only, and then do the next thing and the next area, and breaking down into little tasks so it doesn't seem like this big massive scale. I live in a corner lot, so I have a lot of planting area currently. Third, and this is a big one for me, I've known about it for a very long time. I've known I've had to do this and I haven't. One of my biggest issues is procrastination, and this year I paid for it. And that is to have automatic watering. Whether you have a drip system on a timer or just a drip system that you can come out and turn on yourself for all the zones, whatever, just something that you don't have to come drag out and move the hose around or stand around and water yourself. I probably prefer one with a timer system because honestly, this time around I could not even walk a lot. So I think setting yourself up for success as much as you can is not, it's going to make it easier. It's going to make the whole situation easier on you. This whole time I was just super upset and sad and worried that my garden was going to die, or just, oh my gosh, look at the state of my garden. It's so out of control. It doesn't even look beautiful. What am I doing? Type thing. Okay, now the fourth thing that I learned is to get someone to help you, whether that be family members or hiring help if you can. I couldn't hire anybody out. I did get my family to help me out every now and then, but again, my garden is a big undertaking and I just didn't want to ask too much of them because it's my thing. And the fifth one, and I think the most important one, and the one that I had the most difficulty with, is just letting go. If you don't have the ability to get somebody to help you, or people are unwilling, because they have things to do, they have their own lives, whatever, you can't expect people to just drop things for something that you spend literally hours every week doing. It'd be nice, but we can't expect that of people. We have to be realistic here, and I was realistic in that sense. So you just have to be able to let go, and it was a daily thing with me, which was telling myself, just, what can you do? It's out of your control. It's out of your control, and plants will grow back and you can try again the next season or next year. Here in California, I have such a long growing season, and I'm actually a little bit behind. I haven't started fall seeds, but I'm going to, definitely, so I can try it. And I kept telling myself, if you force yourself to go out there, you're going to get hurt. You're going to hurt yourself even worse. So just take the time to rest now and get better later, and enjoy your time later in the garden. You'll be able to get in there quicker. Alright everyone, so that was my experience, and that's why my garden looks the way it looks. But I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you can give me some ideas of some things that you would do, or you could do to prevent, not prevent, but future-proof your garden, in a sense, in case something happens, an emergency, you have to leave your garden, or you're physically unable to attend to your garden. Let me know what you do. Alright everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.